everyone, how's it going? It's Off The Hesi. In today's video, it will be my Western Conference standings predictions for this upcoming NBA season. This is part 2 of the videos, so if you haven't already, go check out part 1, which is my Eastern Conference standings. A link to that video will be in the end screen and also down in the description. Please remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash the like button, and comment your thoughts down below. Now, let's get into my Western Conference standings predictions. I have the Utah Jazz finishing first in the West in back-to-back years. Even though they gave up a 2-0 lead to the Clippers last year, this team always performs in the regular season to a high level, and I don't see that changing this year. Donovan Mitchell should take another lead this year, and this team still has the 3 times Defensive Player of the Year in Rudy Gobert. The one thing the Jazz do lack is defensive versatility, as they have very limited amount of players that can guard the perimeter, but this team should still be very good. I believe the Denver Nuggets will become the 2nd seed this year. Even though Jamal Murray will be out for half a season due to an ACL injury, the Nuggets still have Nikola Jokic, the 2021 League MVP, and young star in Michael Porter Jr., and both these players will continue to get better. This team also has nice surrounding pieces like Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, and Monte Morris. This team can score on all 3 levels but lack defense in the paint and behind the arc. This year, I have the Western Conference champions from last year, the Phoenix Suns, finishing 3rd this year. This young team now has playoff experience and has a taste of what it's like going to the finals. The Suns will be hungry and looking to improve and develop their young pieces in Booker, Ayton, and Mikal Bridges to look to have another deep postseason run. Chris Paul is now getting higher up in age, but luckily for the Suns, his leadership will still be there. I have the LA Lakers being the 4th seed. The Lakers did a complete rehaul on this team compared to last year, and they acquired star Russell Westbrook and former stars in Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Rondo, and DeAndre Jordan. This team is extremely old and going to take time figuring things out in the regular season. LA are going to be built for the playoffs with LeBron chasing after his 5th ring. The floor spacing on this team is going to be tight, and the Lakers will need to find a way to utilize Westbrook with and without the ball. I can see them struggling in the early parts of the season, but on the later half they will find the stride and make a deep playoff run. With the Warriors just missing out on the playoffs last year, and the return of Klay Thompson this year, I can see this former dynasty making another run at a championship. The Warriors still have their core in Curry, Dre, and Klay, and added several additional pieces to the roster. They are great defensively and have the 2 best shooters the game has ever seen. I see this team as a threat, but I think their year will be next year. I have the Warriors around the 5th seed. This team has still done very little to give Damian Lillard help, but the Trailblazers are still a playoff team. I see them being around that 5 to 8 range. The Blazers tend to be inconsistent during the regular season, mainly due to injuries, but also their lack of defense. Luckily they are outstanding offensively and have a superstar Dame. Otherwise, this team wouldn't make the playoffs. I see Dallas dropping down to the 7th seed this year, as they didn't do much in the offseason to give Luka help, and a much needed second ball handler. Hopefully Porzingis doesn't have a stinker like last year and returns to his former self. I can see them causing an upset and making the 2nd round, but that's only because of Luka magic. They can jump up around to the 4 or 5, but they gotta get other players around Luka to contribute. The Clippers are definitely going to drop this year, as Kawhi will be out for the majority of the season due to an injury. All this team needs to do is just to make the playoffs, so when Kawhi comes back, they can make a deep run. I can see Paul George having a career year, as he will be the man of this team and carry them through the regular season. They do have good players like Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, and Serge Ibaka, but they still need a playmaker on this team to be successful. The Timberwolves are going to surprise a lot of people this year and be in the playoff contention. The young trio of Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell provide a lot of scoring, but what holds them back is injuries. Last year, when all three of them played, they were above 500 team, and when injured, they struggled to win games. Hopefully, they can finally get a good run at the playoffs, because this team is very exciting to watch. I see the Grizzlies falling to the 10th spot due to them losing Jonas Valanciunas, who played a big role for them to make the playoffs the prior season. Jar is going to take another leap and become a top point guard in the league, but that's all the bright spots for this team. Jaren Jackson is always injured and can never put together a string of games. Memphis needs to acquire shooters so they can overall get better, but this team is known for their grit and grind, so that might be able to help them to make the playoffs. Surely this is the year the Kings are actually competitive and try for a play-in spot. They have young star point guard in De'Aaron Fox and young pieces like Halliburton, Davion Mitchell, Marvin Bagley, and Rashawn Holmes. Kings fans have been waiting a long time for this team to be good, but in order for them to be a playoff team, they drastically need to improve their defense, as they were the worst defense of all time last year. I would have the New Orleans Pelicans higher, but Zion is going to be injured for the early part of the season, and Brandon Ingram isn't enough for them to win games. They lost Lonzo Ball in the offseason, but added Valanciunas and Devontae Graham, who are both mediocre defenders. For all 3 years of Zion's career, they have had 3 different coaches. How is that the right way to build a team to make the playoffs and satisfy Zion's needs? Or else he'll just leave like Anthony Davis. The last 3 spots of the Western Conference standings are all self-explanatory. The Rockets, Thunder, and Spurs are all rebuilding and not looking to win any games. The best of these 3 are the Rockets, as they currently have a few good young pieces like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, and Alphonse Sengun. The Thunder will probably rest Shea like last year so they don't win any games and utilize the millions of picks they have in the upcoming drafts. And the Spurs are finally rebuilding after decades of success. That's it for my Western Conference standings predictions for this upcoming NBA 2021-2022 season. If you haven't already, go check out my Eastern Conference standings predictions, and I'll post the link down in the description of this video. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and comment your thoughts down below and if you agree with my predictions or not. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see y'all next time.